Hi everyone. I'd like to take just a minute and talk about how we can work to control some of our rebuild times in our SOLIDWORKS part model. And we're going to do that by using what's known as the freeze bar and the rollback bar. Now the rollback bar is probably something that you're already familiar with. It's this little blue bar that we have down here at the bottom of the tree. And if we drag that up above some features, you'll notice that they semi-suppress out of the model. Now the freeze bar works from the top of the tree and we pull down. Now you'll notice that I actually don't have it currently. The freeze bar is not on by default, and so it is something that you have to turn on. To do so, we go to our system options, and from the main page on system options, we'll roll down this little checklist and you'll see toward the very bottom that we have a checkbox for enable freeze bar. I'm going to go ahead and toggle that on, and as I say OK, you'll note that I get this nice gold bar that pops up right underneath the top level part name in my feature tree. So why would we want to use this again? Well, let's take a look at what happens when we rebuild the entire part. So if I look at my performance evaluation for this part, I can see that my total rebuild time is 10.88 seconds for the part, which is not an extremely long time. And if you could imagine, maybe we have this part in multiple assemblies. Now we're looking at rebuilding that multiple times, so 10 seconds can start to stack up pretty quick. So if there are areas of our part that take a long time to rebuild, for instance, this save bodies command and this lip groove command take up more than half of my total rebuild time. So if I could take those out of the equation as I'm working with this and save myself some of that rebuild time, it's going to speed my modeling process up. So let's take a look at that lip and groove feature real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my freeze bar and I'm going to start to drag it down through the feature tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag that just below my two lip and groove features. Actually, I'm going to move it just below the lip and groove feature. So if I drag that freeze bar down, you'll note that my features kind of ghost out, so that's semi-suppressed like we get with the rollback bar, but we get these little lock icons pointed next to them. What this is indicating is that the feature itself is frozen in state. There's no updates that are going to apply to it. SOLIDWORKS is just hold those in stasis while it works to rebuild everything else that is now in our tree. And in this case, our save bodies feature was the other feature that cost us a lot of time. So in this case, if I happen to be working maybe with a few of these draft features or the snap groove, right, I can now move my rollback bar and isolate the model to just the area that I'm working on. And so you'll see real time as I've started to do that, performance evaluation tool has now come back and updated itself, and now we've taken our total rebuild time from 10.88 seconds to now 4.98 seconds. So the idea here being, if there are areas of the model that we can isolate so that we don't have to wait for the entire thing to rebuild, we can start using the feature freeze and the rollback bar to isolate those areas. So, hope this has been helpful for you. Thank you for your time.